Hello friends. So today we have two very useful and very common prefixes. First one is mono. Mono means one, alone. And the other one is very common, non. N-O-N, non. Meaning is not, non-violent, no violence, non-sense, having no sense, non-entity. Not an entity at all. Entity means somebody. No one, nobody. That's the meaning. Non-entity means non-cooperation. Everybody knows what is it. Monogamy. Monogamy means having single wife at a time. Single husband means spouse. You can say single spouse at a time. Either a husband or wife. Monopoly. Having complete control. Monotheism. Belief in one God, monotony, same tone, one tone, monosyllable, have one syllable, and monologue, speaking to oneself, monologue. Log means, logos means word, mono, one word, that means speaking to oneself. One man speaking, not oneself, but one man speaking. Okay, so let's say monogamy. And some cultures, they promote monogamy. That means, at a time, a person can have either, if he has a husband, only one wife, and if it's his wife, only one husband. That situation is called monogamy. More than if he has then polygamy, you said, poly, many. Okay. Then monopoly is monopoly, complete control. For certain times, at times we can see certain traders have monopoly of certain items. Sometimes it can be rice or it can be wheat and so on. You remember once upon a time, that is 1947, before 1947, the British East India Company, they had the monopoly of trade in India, business and trade in India. Means they had complete control over it. That is monopoly means. Monotheism. Theos means God. So monotheism means belief in one God. Many religions, they promote belief in one God. That is monotheism. Especially if you can see, this is Jews, Judaism. Judaism, they promote, they are very strict on this. There is only one God, monotheism. They are monotheists. Means they believe only in this situation that there is only one God. Monotony, same wave, same tone. If you speak in monotony, people will get bored. There should be change in tone, some stories, some anecdotes and so on. Otherwise, if you are speaking in the same tone, after 10 minutes or so, you will find all the students going to sleep. Monosyllable means one syllable. If you say king, the word king, or top, T-O-P, there's only one syllable. And one syllable words are called monosyllable words. For example, if you have got a father, it has two syllables. Father. Then that you call it this disyllabic. Disyllabic words means having two syllables. Monosyllable means one. There are many monosyllabic words in English. Like king, top, then you have got rat, fat, cat, sat, all one word, one syllable words, and they are called monosyllabic words. Monologue. Monologue means one man speaking. See, for example, Browning's poems. You have got many of his poems are monologues, dramatic monologues. Dramatic because at a particular, at a critical point in the life of the character, he starts opening up his mind, and that is revived in Ezra. And then you have got other poems in many poems, so to say, you can say, of Browning's. They are dramatic monologues. Monologue means this: one person opening up his mind when he is alone. Whether it is understood or not, whether other people are listening to it is none of the business of the person who is making the monologue. But soliloquy is a different thing. Soliloquy means it is understood that the audience, they are listening to it. There is an implication that there is an audience. But in monologue, there is no implication that there is an audience. It is the bursting out of the mind of the person who is in a crisis, in a critical moment in his life. Understand? So that is, we have got, I think that most of his Browning's poems are dramatic monologues. Non-violence. We believe in non-violence. India is a non-violent country. Nonsense. Even when people say nonsense, there may be some sense. Isn't it? Sometimes it can happen like that. Non-entity means nobody. Silent persons are considered by others as non-entities. If you don't speak, nobody is going to bother about you. If you don't react, nobody will consider you as an entity or as someone. So non-entity means nobody. That's the thing. So if you want to get attention, somebody else's attention, then what have you to do? You have to speak, you have to shout, you have to cry, you have to yell, Y-E-L-L and so on. That's what you have to do. Non-cooperation. We know non-cooperation movement of Mahatma Gandhiji. Many people, sometimes what happens, to fight against the laws which are not in accordance with the pleasures of citizens, or needs of the citizens, the citizens of a country will go on a non-cooperation movement with the government. Non-cooperation, not cooperating with the government. That is, striking is a kind of non-cooperation. When you have strike work, that is non-cooperation, isn't it? Otherwise, you will be working in the office or in the factory or on the farm, like that. I think this is clear to you. Anything is difficult for you? Monotheism, belief in one God, and then monologue. That I told you already. Difference between monologue and soliloquy is soliloquy. An audience is implied. The presence of an audience is implied, but in dramatic monologue, it need not be. The Patriot, another poem by Browning. You can see the Patriot. He is opening up his mind, bursting out with emotion. Once you adored me, now you are taking me to the gallows and so on. There is a narration like that. That is actually it's a dramatic monologue. I think things are clear to you. Till we meet again. Bye.